Hello and welcome to Tabletop Baseball Plus. I am your host, Tenacious Earl, and we are beginning the 2018 Appalachian Hootenanny. That's right, you heard that correctly. It's the 2018 Appalachian Hootenanny. And you've got to say it that way or else it's just not going to come out right. Hootenanny. So this is the 16th tournament in our 24 tournament Tenacious Golf Tour 2018 campaign. So we are on the downhill slope, and we are going to do the cut round here. I've already gotten the qualifiers set. All of the injured players have been scurried away. Anybody needing a rest has been wished well in their absence, but we've got 156 golfers ready to test the Springhouse Country Club course, par 70 track in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. Beautiful hillside, mountainous terrain, some woods, it's a spa here, so the wives of the tour member and some esteemed guests of the club here will definitely take advantage of the amenities while the golfers are out trying to earn a title, get some more money, and cement their spot in the playoffs, which are fast approaching. The next tournament on the Tenacious Golf Tour will be the Championship of the United Kingdom. So, like I said, this is moving right along. Then 2 tournaments more, then we get to the Tenacious Championship, which is essentially the professionals championship. So, and then after that's the playoffs. So we're there. We're knocking on the doorstep. The Slacker Tour is progressing along as well. I believe they have 7 tournaments left. We have 8. I believe 8. But in any regard, let's get this one going. This is the first 2 rounds, so we're going to determine which golfers make the cut. Also, we will be determining who has the best scores in those first 2 rounds. They'll be the outstanding golfers, if we have any. So we will be right back with the cut rounds of the 2018 Appalachian Hootenanny here on the Tabletop Baseball Plus channel, using History Maker Golf as our tabletop golf simulator. Be right back. Okay, so here we are with my typical setup for the cut rounds of a TGT tournament. Again, this is using tournament mode from History Maker Golf. That is a product from play.com, Plaay, and just to put in a plug for the people at Play, they will be having a get-together this weekend called the Play.con. That will be in the Mile High City, and I know at least one friend of the channel, RNGIDP, is planning to be there, so I hope everybody has a great time up there playing. I think they're going to be doing some golf, and they'll be doing all sorts of games up there, I'm sure. I think they're also going to see a Rockies game, so should be a good time. So anyway, just shout out to all of you who may be attending. Hope you have a great time. So what are we going to be doing here? Well, we have qualified golfers, 39. Oh, and I just had a couple of them drop out of my hand. Right here, They're all non-exempts on both tours. Nobody. Now there are two, or actually there's three who qualified from the previous tournament. Being in the top 10, they earned a spot in this tournament. And that's Bob Demelmeyer, Jason Huffman, and Leroy Castillo. So they are in these two decks here, which are my typical tour cards. And at a prior time, I removed, as I said, the injured, the off golfers. I simulate golfers taking weeks off using random number generators. And yeah, so that's what we have here. And so I need to kind of bring these guys together as best I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shuffle these in a bit. So I'm going to take about half and just kind of shuffle them in as best I can. And I'm going to do some more shuffling. Here, let's take a few more out of this guy and put it in over here. We'll take these guys and put them in over here. So, and then I'm going to take the whole deck here, and I'm going to start shuffling it some. So there should be 156 cards in this deck, a variety of qualifiers and exempt tour members. So, yeah, I would love to go to some of these meetups and tournaments. I know Tabletop Earl had one a little while ago, a tournament that he held out in the Midwest. And the Play guys have some quite a bit, and there's plenty of APBA tournaments and Strat leagues. And I mean, I almost joined a Strat league this year, but I just decided that the timing wasn't quite right. And so there'll be time for all of that. Just trying to grow a YouTube channel, if you know what I mean. We're trying to bring new games. Baseball is sort of the crown jewel, and that's why we continue to have baseball in the name of the channel. But obviously golf is something that I've been playing a lot here of late. I also have a football game that I'd like to get back to at some point. It's just really kind of tough to do all the projects that I have available to me right now, and I'd like to actually add another game before too long, so we'll see how that goes. But so we've got the cards here, and we need to take those and turn them into halves. These are going to be, and if you put your hand over them, you can usually tell that's pretty close. So we've got morning and afternoon. I'm going to move the afternoon cards over here. You can still see them over there. And now we're going to make our normal 8 piles. Trying to do our best to make them approximately the same number, but it's not absolutely crucial. And so we will just go ahead and do it like this. So, okay. This one feels a little light. This one feels a little heavy. Let's put a couple more over here. So, let's see. We'll call that pretty good. Okay. So, we use this chart. And we use 2 D6s. We make a 2-digit number with them in sequential order, so lowest to highest. So if it's a 6 and a 5, that means 56, and then we use the instructions that are on the sheet. And I guess I will show that each time, maybe. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But let's start with pile number 1 over here. I'm going to move these up a little bit so that way I have room to fan out. And where is my box? Let's get that out here. I think I have enough room in the shot to put it right about here. Or, as they say in certain parts of the country, right here. Okay? Now, I don't know how well you'll be able to see that in this shot, but let's go ahead and give it a go. And our first roll is 44. Now, 44 is the only double that isn't strange. It's going to be draw one, and then you choose the top 4 from the rest of the pile. And so the way that I do this, if you've watched these videos before, I fan them out and then use a 20-sided die to determine which card to take. And so we have 9 here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 there. So on the D20 we can go up to 18, and 20 is not going to do us a darn bit of good here. So we re-roll, and it's a 5. So 5 will be this card here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's going to be Celestino Garcia. Is there going to be our draw cut made? And then we take the top 4. And what I will do now is let's go ahead and start. We got 2 user-defined or user-created cards: Gage Valentine, Justice Ramos, Casey Holder, 5A, and Alardo Huerta. So those are the first 4. We got a 5A, a 5B, or 2 5Bs and a 5C. The chances of those holding up are relatively slim. Maybe Casey Holder, because we're only going to take 4 on. So Glenn Frassard is a 4B. He will jump ahead of Justice Ramos. We'll put him off to the side. Myung Cho, he had a nice tournament last time around. Now we've got 2 5Bs there. There's a 4C, Mauricio Warner. That's going to knock the 5Bs out. And the remaining question is whether we have Casey Holder knocked out, and that's Carson Riddell with a 1C. So Holder will be missing the cut, and we get 5 into the weekend rounds out of that group. So now we just keep moving right along here. 23, and the next is going to be draw 1, and then you choose the top 2. Ties are taken in on the top. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we draw 1 and the top 2. And that's 10. So we're going to take this one down here. This is another user-created one. That's Junior Lucero. And now the top 2 after that. And so we've got Ramon Zavala and Cameron Hayes, 4C and 5A. We've got Justin Wallace, a 2A. Kyle Johnston, a 5B, will not make it. Actually, the 5A gets knocked out here, so it's going to be Zavala and Wallace unless we get... Well, Kenji Morita is a 2B. Cavallari is going to knock Morita out. He'll miss the cut anymore. Rance Aberley is a tie. 1A, Dustin Emmerich. So we're going to end up taking 4 in plus the 1 draw because we take the ties. So all of those guys are going to make the cut. So 5 made the cut out of that pile as well. And we will re-roll. 24. Now that is draw 2 and choose the top 2. The way that it works with most numbers that don't begin with a 4 is that the first number is the number of top cards that come out, and then the the difference between the white die, or the high number and the low number, are the number of draws. So that's where we get top 2 draw and 2 top. So that is 8, 9, 10. Just have to pile these in a bit. So we'll do 10, and that was 24. And we have 2 and 2. So at 10, we will take 8. That'll be this one. Eddie Sykes is one that's going to go in on a draw. And then the next one, 15 from 9. So we start here for 18. We always start here at 1. 18, 17, 16, 15. Sheridan Cook Jr. So a 5C makes it into the weekend rounds. And so now we've got top 2 after that. Burke Yielding of 2C and Greg Millwood of 4C. Joey Manini knocks out Millwood. Rowetter knocks out Manini. Fonseca knocks out Rowetter. Now we got a tie at 2C. A 3B, Todd Aarons and Waki Inoue at 4C. And then a 1B, Yun Lee Songs. We're going to take another 5 in as we get Lee Song, who is a 1. And then the 2 2Cs. And the rest of these guys are going to miss the cut. .44, another 44. That's going to be draw 1, top 4. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to draw 1, and it will be number 4, and that will be Lanny Saxerhold to 3A. And then we're going to draw the top 4. We're going to roll them over here. A lot of 4s. There's Heath Sommers with a 1B. Chip Connors, Jim Visotki, Tord Thorson. Shinji Kanishi is going to make it 5 deep here until we get one higher than 4C. That's Gary Zakowski will knock the 2 4Cs out. Now it's a matter of what other cards come up. 3B will knock out Connors. 4A, Bob Kleckner will miss the cut as well, so there are another 5. So we've got, I think that's 20 so far. We keep going at this pace, we'll get 80. We'd like to have less than 80 if we could. I'd like to have between 70 and 80 if possible. Alright, so 12 will help us. That's going to be draw 1 and then the top remaining after that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1 to draw, and it's 14. So 16, 15, 14. Leroy Castillo, remember I mentioned him before. He's going to make the cut. A couple of good tournaments here for him. And he didn't have to go through the top. If he had to go through this top, I would have bet he would miss out at a 3C. But we've got Canepa. I turned over Heejin Tong a 5A, Lucas Rooney a 5A. Those will not make it. 3C Wyatt Sells. He's been injured for a while. He will make the cut unless he gets beat out, and he would have tied Leroy Castillo. 3B for Jae Gun Woo, and that's going to knock Sells out. 3B, a second 3B here. Simanowicz Jr., and then a 4A Chase Stevenson. So we're going to get 3 out of this particular pile. It takes us, I think, to 23. So that puts us under the 5A roll pace we were getting. $34. Okay, that'll give us, we're going to draw an outstanding golfer out of this pile. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11. So we've got 11 there, and we're going to draw 1. And it's number 1. It's going to be the first one. It's going to be Corbin Pope. He's going to be outstanding. He has absolutely no ratings on his card. That is one of those anomalies that we get sometimes when I make my cards. The traits are randomly placed on there, and he is one that got, basically, he's an average golfer pretty much all around. So now we have the top 3 after that. So let's see, we got 3 more Earl created cards. Connor George, Frederick Rhodes, Dante Riley, 4A, 4C, 6A. 4B for Luca Cooper will knock out the 6A. Dante Riley. Now, there goes Frederick Rhodes, because Leon Bay is a 4A. 4C, Parker Melton will not make it this time. Duncan Kramer, a 5B, will not make it. Ryan Broadus, a 4B, would. 3B for John Reasoner will knock out the 2 4Bs. Now it's a matter of whether 3A, and that's going to give us a tie at 4A. So we will take 5 in from this particular batch. And then these guys are all going to miss the cut. And 46, that's going to be another 5. Draw 1, top 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There you go. 16, we're going to re-roll. 16 again, we'll re-roll again. And there's a 3. Gene Ewing is going to make the cut. And then we've got the top 4 aside from that. Trent McAdams, Sonny Lemons, and then a 4A and a 4B from the user created. Let's see, a 3C, there's Braden Allen, he's not going to make it. 4B, Graham Wilkinson's going to go away. Joel Barrera still hanging in there with a 4A. Patrick Kieran with the 3C comes in there and slides in. Dalton Solomon, 4A. 3A for Ian Robard is going to knock the 2 4As out. So we have 2 more cards right here. 5B for Delmo Mazzanti and 4A for Nate Killo. They will not be participating Saturday. Okay, one more pile for the morning pairings. 34 again, that'll be another outstanding golfer. So we make a draw. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Draw 1 for outstanding, and it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another Bruno Friedman. At least he's got some. That's an interesting card. He is a semi-icon, but also gilded, which means on dynamic rolls, type rolls, if he's gilded, he's going to get dinged. But he's also better than average with irons and better than average with woods. And a good bunker player. So, alright, so then the top 3 outside of that, that's going to bring in Su Sheng Tien, Angus Ingram, DC Metcalf. Enrique Magallanes will knock out Metcalf. Metcalf just came back from injury as well. We had a couple of till further notices, which at the last tournament, which Buddy Carowin didn't know, but that brought out Metcalf and Wyatt Sells. So Lucas Bergman is a 4B as well, not going to be in there. DeAndre Smith. Dylan Buckley, nope. Couple 6As. Gareth Leonard will eclipse Angus Ingram. 3C for Malcolm Wiles, not good enough. It's going to be the 3B of Su Sheng Tien that is the final guy out of the morning pairings to make it in. That puts us about probably 36, I'm guessing, thereabouts, including the outstanding, making the cut so far. which is a good total to have. So I'm going to take a little break. I'll be right back, and I will, well, let's just keep going. Going to keep going. So again, 8 more piles, and I think, there we go. Like I said, we really don't need to be that exact. It's nice to try and do a good job of making them equal out, but it's not a necessity. Okay, so here is the rest of the golfers for the 2018 Appalachian Hootenanny. And a 35 will start. That will get us 5 golfers at least. Draw 2. 3 remaining top golfers. And we've got a lot of Earl created ones here. We've got an 8er here. So 8 and 6. That's going to be this one. Valentine Carson will make the cut. Now one more draw. 16 and so we got 7 there, so we can only go up to 14. And there's 13, so it'll be this one. It'll be Kason Wong. So now we take the top 3 remaining. We're going to get one more on a 35, and so at least one more that will be Earl created. So Smokey Novak 3B, Ernie McCown 5C, Cale Reyes 4B, a 5A for Frankie Molina. Going to knock out Ernie McCowan, 4C, Walter Fox, and 4B. So those will be the 3 that we take, the 4Bs and Smokey Novak. Cody Shepard, Cale Reyes, Smokey Novak will make the cut. So I don't think Smokey's made too many cuts this year, but he does this time. So 45, another 5 at least. 2, 3, make sure I got, yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, there's 11 there, so we take one draw, and it's laying in between 12 and 13, so we got to re-roll. There's 2. It'll be Augie Kammerman. And so now the top 4 remaining, we've got Sincere Grant with a 3C. Will he make it? Carroll Davis 4C, a 2A for Evan Aldrich, Eric Hubbard a 5B. 4B will knock out Hubbard. 5A not going to be for Almeida. 5B for Woody Clark. 5A Kevin Percival. No, we've come up with a lot of high cards. It's going to knock Carroll Davis out, John Hudspeth. And what's this one? 5A Craig Angelo. So Sincere Grant will make it. And that's 2 piles into the afternoon rounds. And we're going to get an injury. 11 is an injury, and then we take the top. So we're going to draw an injury, an injured player, out of this pile. 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we need 1 to 11 here. 17 won't do it. 20 won't either. Number 3, it's going to be Kean Baker, who is a non-exempt player. So injuries. Kean Baker. Is he going to be a till further notice? We re-roll the D6s on the injury chart, and it's a 12. So I think this is just going to be for this tournament only. Misses this event and the next event with illness. So Kean Baker will miss 2. So +1 event, illness. So we'll put him on injured, and he will not be available next round. So now we take the top golfer out of the rest of these. I'm just going to flip them all over here because I'm kind of running out. I'm not saying running out of time, but I could tell a lot of these were, so 3B is currently the top card. These guys are all generated by me, and none of them are going to make the cut. There's a 4A is the best out of them. Felipe Irwin, he's not going to get in there. So Connor Messick, Tom Sudbury, a 3A is going to beat 3B. 4B, Nishiki Kawahara, no. Del Hutton, 4A, no. 2B, Greer Copeland, the third, will be the top golfer, and he will make the cut. We'll put the others on the miss the cut pile, and we've got 5 more to roll off here. And 12 is going to be draw 1 top golfer. Draw 1 and take the top golfer after that. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we can take any number that's rolled here, and it's going to be a 3. Zephaniah Scott's going to make the cut. So there we go. Top 1 remaining. We've got a 4B and a couple 4Cs. Kirk Redwine, Jay Laufenberg, no. Kerry Finley, yes, for now. Another 4C, Andy Jansen. 3A, Darren Sears is going to take over Finley's spot. A 4B, Nehemiah Henry, no. 4B, Samir Webb, no. 5A, Freddie Moran, no. 3C, Dale George, no. So, Darren Sears. And there's one that we made 2. So we should be well below that 80 mark. So we'd kind of like to get a couple more in the 5 or 6 range just to offset it. When we got 22, this is the 2 top golfers. Van Dyke's a 1C, Moberly 3C. 3B, Nick Yarlett will be ahead of Moberly. 4C, Duke Vernon, no. Alec Newcomb, a 4C, no. Fabio Antonucci, 3C, no. Jimmy Kimes, a 3A, will knock out Yarlett. 5B, Felix David, no. Jeffrey Hahn, 4B, no. So those are the 2 top golfers who will make the cut. Next pile, 13. That will be draw 2 and then the top remaining. So 9. 12. We're drawing 2, correct? Yes. And we had 9, right? Yeah, 9, 10, 11, 12. We get another one of these cards. Now I need to roll another one. This is 8 and 13. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We get 2 of them, Bray and Dunn. Getting a lot of that type of rolls here today. 2A, 2B, 2C, and 4C. So Gail Honorado currently top. Bob Demmelmeyer will miss the cut. He is a qualifier with a good 2B rating. A 3C, Newt Washburn, no. 5B, Francis Shepard, no. 5A, Aaron Backus, no. So Gail Honorado will make the cut. Running a little low on made the cut cards here. We may have to 33, drawing 3 golfers from this pile, and that's it, no top. So somebody good might miss out. So there's 7, right? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're going to draw 3, 13 and 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shane Sterling, we saw him last tournament. I think he finished 2nd. So now they're down to 12, and we get a 17. That won't work. Now get 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Another one of these Ian Osborne. And now 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will be Tagaki Yamasaki, a familiar name here. So we get a 3C, a 4C, and a 5C. And let's see how many upper echelon golfers we get. A 3B for Will Janis, Carlos Solari, a 2C, Rafael Meraz, Royal Garibay. Gil Granbury won the last tournament. He misses the cut here. No top golfers from the 33. And so he's having a little bit of a hangover from that triumph in the previous tournament. And now the final pile is going to be 55. We take the top 5 golfers. How about that? Granbury gets snubbed. So it's going to be Duval, Franz Hockel, Luke Henneman, Clive Kenny, Trevor Nowen. So those are the top 5 at the moment. Who else is going to come up? Kenny Service is a 5B. He won't make it. Danny Gallatin, a 3A, will knock out Alan Duval. Brandon Webb is a 5C. Shane Smith, a 4A, is going to knock out Clive Kenny. That's our 5. Jason Huffman, a 3C. It's going to give us 6 and another 3C. That gives us 7, and we're going to take them all because I think I'm short on golfers in that made cut, so that may put us over the line. And so the rest of these are missed. We have an injury, and we have 2 outstanding, Bruno Friedman and Corbin Pope. So that is our third, that's how it's going to shape up for the third round when we start parsing people into scores where they're going to start the final round. So I've gotten done with all of my spreadsheet updates. So what I do is I end up inputting all of those who miss the cut, and from there everybody who made the cut just kind of fills in without having any demarcation as being a missed cut. So then I'm able to sort. I also put in the injured player, so I'm able to sort that in another screen, and that it also automatically tells me how many golfers have made the cut. And it turns out only 64 made the cut based on this procedure. You recall I was a little worried that we ended up with quite a few 1s and 2s and 3s, and so we didn't hit 70. So we're going to have to do a little bit of an additional procedure here. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So let's turn this back around. Okay, so we're back here with the piles, and we have this missed cut pile. Now we need at least 6 more. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'll do 8 piles. That would get us to 72 if we just take 1 from each pile. And I'm going to allow for the fact that we might get a couple extras. And what we're going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to shuffle them up once or twice, and I'm going to divide them again into 8 piles, and then I'm going to use the decider die to determine whether or not we're going to do a draw procedure or a top procedure. So this will give Gil Granbury a chance to make the cut. I was just thinking about taking the highest scores out of those who missed the cut and just putting them in, but then that doesn't give them the chance to play in the final rounds and potentially make the final group. So let's do this as expeditiously as possible. So we're going to make 8 piles. And again, what we're going to do is we're just going to be drawing 1 out of each pile. So if you figure 64 had made the cut originally, and there were 156, That puts us at around, what, 92, and so with 8 piles, there's going to be about 11 or 12 on average in each of these piles. So we're going to get 1 out of 12. We may get a couple here and there that have 2, so we'll end up in that 75 range. But that's so. What we're going to do is we're going to call the dot is top. The knot will be draw, and we will use the D20 just like we did before. So a little bit longer process here, but this is going to get us to our number. And so that's a knot dot, and so that's going to be draw for the first pile. And I am going to put these guys kind of like this, and I'm going to put the other ones that make it over to the right, so that way I know which ones I'm going to be adding to my spreadsheet that have made the cut. All right, so what do we have here? We've got 9, and so we're doing draw because it's a knot, and it will be 8. It'll be this one here, and it's going to be Todd Aaron's making the cut, so he's gonna squeak by. Let's see what golfers are in here. Almeida, Hubbard, McCown, Walter Fox, Frankie Molina, Malcolm Wiles, Angus Ingram, Frederick Rhodes. They're gonna continue to have missed the cut. Re-roll the decider. Will again be a draw golfer. We have 13 in this pile. And it's 1. It's going to be the very first one. It's going to be Ramon Zavala. What other ones? So which ones have we got that are going to miss? Anybody of major note here? J. Stevenson, Wyatt Sells, Carroll Davis, Lyle Johnson. Not too many big names here. Okay, so these guys will stay in the missed cut. Gonna be top golfer here, so Canepa. There's 5A, 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 4A is going to beat Canepa, who's a 4B. Chip Connors is a tie. There's a 4C, 4C. There's 3B, Denny Rowetter. And then all the rest are 4s and 5s here. So Denny Rowetter will make the cut. Top golfer. Another draw golfer. $12 in this pile. 5 would be this one. Antoine Spence. Got a lot of user cards at the front of this pile. Laufenberg, Kramer, Sudbury, a 3A, Parker Melton, Connor Messick, a 3B, Nishiki Kawahara, Del Hutton. So, and that's another draw. So that's going to disfavor Gil Granbury in one of these piles. If he comes up in a draw pile, he's going to have a really diluted chance. So that is a pile of 10. 18. So we'll go to number 8. That'll be Elliott Strong. Maurizio Mondragon. Carlos Solari. Gil Granbury is in this pile. Ellis Moberly. A couple of bigger names in there. Alright, so we got 3 more piles. We haven't had any ties yet at top, and so here is going to be top Bergman, Carawan. So there's going to be 4A Nate Killo, but then you got Bob Demmelmeyer, who might make the cut now. 2B, 4B, 5B. Kenji Morita's a 2B. and then the rest are in the 3s and 5s. So that will get us a duo who's going to make the cut here out of that pile. So we're going to re-roll. It's going to be a draw. And 11 here. 7. 6, 7. It's going to be another. It's going to be Samir Webb. So what do we got on this pile? Jansen. A lot of 4s and 5s. There's a couple. There's another 5, a 4B, a 4B, 4B, 4A, 4A, 5A. A lot of back marker types. One more pile to go that's right over here. Another draw. And 12, 13, and it's going to be 5. Ricardo Nicholson, and that's going to be it. So Will Janis, a 3B, former winner. 3C Dale George, Royal Garibay in the 5s. Braden LaSalle Jr., 2C, misses out. Didn't get many top golfers out of this. And the rest of them aren't so important. So now I should have, so I had 64 before, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73. That very well puts us into the right range, and so I'm going to stitch this together, and so we will then be ready for the 3rd round, and I'll bring you that a little later towards the weekend. So maybe Friday night we'll do the 3rd round and set up the leaderboard. So we'll see you then. Thanks a lot for watching the 2018 Appalachian Hootenanny from Springhouse. And until next time, this is Tenacious Earl on the Tabletop Baseball Plus channel. Have a good evening.